Chapter 5: Building a Balanced Life. Strategies for Overall Well-Being. Strategy 1: Cultivating your lifestyle. When trying to understand the root of our anger, we often overlook the impact of our lifestyle and environment. In this chapter, we encourage you to take control of your behaviors and surroundings to help manage your anger. Here are some recommendations to tackle these challenges. Desserts are undeniably sweet, a lovely way to conclude a meal. However, certain foods, particularly sugary snacks, have been linked to feelings of resentment. Many psychologists and nutritionists attribute this to an overconsumption of simple carbohydrates and a lack of essential minerals like magnesium, which aids in muscle relaxation. Research suggests that individuals who primarily eat processed foods, white flour and refined sugar, are more prone to anger compared to those who include plenty of bananas, leafy greens and beans in their diets. While these ideas may initially seem surprising, there's substantial scientific evidence connecting what we eat to our emotional responses. Have you heard the term hanger? It's a blend of hunger and anger, referring to the irritable feeling that often arises from being hungry. Let's delve deeper into this concept. When we eat, our bodies break down food into sugars and acids, leading to glucose entering the bloodstream. This blood glucose level indicates the sugar content in our blood at any moment, providing energy to our organs and tissues. However, as our blood glucose levels drop, particularly in high-pressure situations like business meetings or school lessons, staying rational becomes difficult. In more relaxed settings, where our defenses are down, we may find ourselves losing patience with others. This is when angry impulses can emerge. You might reach for a candy bar or snack on chips, mistakenly believing these quick fixes will ease your discomfort. But especially on an empty stomach, this choice can backfire. What you really need are complex carbohydrates that digest slowly, keeping glucose levels stable in your bloodstream for a longer period. We may not always recognize these connections, leading to the habit of snacking on sweets. As we age and our bodies become less efficient, we may also contribute to weight gain. The issue of hunger can be as troublesome as weight gain itself. If blood glucose levels drop too low, our bodies react by releasing adrenaline and cortisol, hormones associated with stress. These hormones heighten sensitivity to negative comments and behaviors and trigger our body's fight or flight response, even in safe situations. This response can be traced back to a survival instinct. Early humans needed food to endure life or death scenarios, often leading to anger when faced with scarcity. In today's world, maintaining a steady blood glucose level is far more advantageous than seeking quick bursts of energy. These bursts, typically driven by high glycemic foods, can quickly lead to frustration and conflict throughout the day. While these sugary treats might taste good and seem satisfying initially, they ultimately lead to a drop in blood glucose, making it harder to manage your emotions. In contrast, foods with a low glycemic index provide a more stable blood glucose level, enhancing your ability to handle disappointments and challenges without getting angry. If you find yourself losing your temper more often than you'd like, take a moment to consider your diet. Introducing more low glycemic foods into your meals can help stabilize your blood glucose and improve your emotional responses. It's also essential to reflect on how you manage difficult interactions in your life and the resolution of conflicts. Dealing with family issues or professional setbacks can also benefit from stable blood sugar levels, particularly after meals. Remember the age-old advice? Eating a healthy breakfast can set you up for a more productive day. Consider how alcohol and other dietary factors may play a role in your emotional well-being. You should think about how you respond to beer, wine, and liquor, because everyone reacts differently. People who drink too much at dinner become sleepy and unresponsive to social contact. They retire to bed early. Others become hostile if they aren't hostile. There is a correlation between increased drug use and anger. The correlation is due to the fact that people who suffer from chronic anger resort to alcohol. There are drugs that can alleviate their negative internal activation. The habit becomes ingrained. Over time, drinking becomes reinforced. According to this theory, alcohol dulls the unpleasant bodily experiences that accompany chronic rage. There is a theory that alcohol lowers the inhibitions of certain individuals, causing them to express their frustration more physically. The people who are buzzed are more likely to let their frustration out in destructive ways. Alcohol impairs the development of the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for executive decision-making. We encounter threats or confrontations when we believe we've been offended or degraded. The cortex comes into action, allowing us to consider all of the consequences before making a decision. Substance abuse and rage are mutually exclusive. Rage can lead to more drinking and anger can lead to more drinking. It's a never-ending loop. Anger management interventions will help people avoid drinking too much. This isn't a book on alcoholism or recovery for binge drinking, and we don't want to go there. We want to emphasize the importance of understanding yourself and leading the best life possible. Take measures to reduce alcohol consumption if you notice that your drinking habits are making you angry with others. It's normal for people to downplay the impact of alcohol on their lives, and it's true that examining your drinking habits objectively can be difficult. We hear that my drinking has nothing to do with my family problems. Wouldn't be mean to my wife if she treated me with more respect. It is possible that anxiety, embarrassment, remorse, and other sources of emotional distress are linked to excessive alcohol consumption. We simply ask that you keep track of your alcohol intake and consider how it could be impacting your ability to deal with conflict, dissatisfaction, and stress. It's possible that your alcohol consumption isn't a habit that needs to be addressed. Sleep, teenagers, male jail prisoners, juvenile offenders, and others have been linked to rage and violence because of insufficient sleep. In cases of intimate partner abuse, bullying at school, cyberbullying, and violence perpetrated in psychiatric hospitals, sleep disorders appear to play a role. Lack of sleep can cause a variety of issues, one of which is general irritability. We have the word slanger for the irritability that can accompany sleep deprivation, just as we have the word hanger for the irritability that can accompany hunger. The amount of sleep required varies greatly. The average person gets about 6.5 hours of sleep a night. However, the majority of us desire about 8 hours of sleep each night, and 8 hours of sleep seems to be the optimal amount of sleep for us to work at our best. Most people have a nightly sleep deficit of around 90 minutes if they only sleep 6.5 hours per night. Work can have an effect on our sleeping patterns. A lot of people work so hard that they don't have time for personal and family matters, let alone sleep. Most adults work evening, night or rotating shifts. They can work shifts from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. one day and from midnight to 8 a.m. the next. Airline employees, emergency department physicians, police officers, firefighters, restaurant waitstaff, and military workers all fall under this category. This group includes mothers and husbands, as well as other caregivers. Because of academic commitments or social activities, college students often do not get enough sleep, and older adults usually get less sleep than they did in their younger years. Globalization and the 24-hour-a-day economy don't help these days. There is a link between lack of sleep and rage. It is possible that sleep deprivation causes depression, headaches, memory problems, and concentrating difficulties. There are also workplace injuries, heart disease, and ulcers. The correlation between sleep and anger appears to be due to disruptions in the body's natural rhythms. Humans, other organisms, and even plants and bacteria have built-in, genetically defined 24-hour cycles that they react to predictably. We're wired to be alert during the day and sleepy at night. In the morning, we are the most alert. From mid-afternoon to late afternoon, we are most coordinated and have the strongest muscle strength, and we are in the deepest sleep stage at about 2 a.m. Melatonin production stops after 7 o'clock in the morning when our blood pressure increases. When this cycle is broken, the probability of frustration and violence increases. When sleep is disrupted, we see a decline in cognitive capacity, impaired decision-making, and impulsiveness. So, what are your options? It's important to recognize that slander is a serious issue. If you're sleep deprived, don't take on critical, time-consuming or exhausting activities. Avoid engaging in difficult social activities if you're sleep deprived. You may not know, but a night of little to no sleep can make your emotional reactions worse. Simple knowledge of the effects of sleep is vital because it can help you think more clearly about when it's best to communicate with others or take on difficult situations. Adjusting sleep habits due to work is something we recognize. Education, child-rearing duties may be difficult for some people. Life changes may still be possible. Piece of music. Music can be used to change moods. While war drums escalate violence, a devotional chant calms the spirit. Music increases the intensity of physical exercise. When elevators were first installed, they had soothing music to help passengers relax. The word elevator music was created by this activity. This style of music was created to inspire people to use elevators. The term elevator music refers to flat, low-volume recorded music that is played in public areas such as shopping malls. It's also known as piped-in music, easy listening music, mosaic and background music, and it's not supposed to be the primary focus of the listener. Background music has been shown to increase concentration and memory. According to one theory, background music may increase arousal and foster a positive emotional state, which then sharpens attention to information. For these effects to occur, the music must be background music with no distractive lyrics. Rap, heavy metal, and emo are examples of musical styles with a quicker pace and louder volume. The styles differ, but they often include violent and sexually explicit lyrics, as well as profanity and an emphasis on serious social issues. There are many reasons to enjoy various musical styles. Different genres are likely to have different effects. Loudness, pace, and lyrics may affect the effects of a musical genre. We're not saying that more active types of music are bad. We're only pointing out that many of us live in noisy households with screaming children, arguing parents, barking dogs, and constantly on computers and television sets. If your home sounds like this, we recommend turning off the television or computer and instead of listening to soft, friendly music without lyrics while you're at home. The potential payoff in terms of reduced conflict and increased inner peace is substantial if you take these measures. Soft, slow, friendly music is often used in settings where anger reduction is a priority. Think about the music you listen to while you're driving. Any roads are congested with inconsiderate vehicles. It would be beneficial to listen to soothing music. There is no excuse for not giving it a shot. Smells and colours, the effects of colours, scents and flowers are positive. Men and women who gave flowers were viewed as competent, according to a study, and emotionally intelligent. They thought they were able to communicate their feelings efficiently, taking time to consider the feelings of others. According to a study, women who received flowers reported a positive mood that lasted for days. The perceptions and reactions show how flowers can improve a relationship. People's responses to different colours vary, but some results seem to be similar, which some scientists believe is due to the fact that colours activate brain structures directly. Warm colours are those on the red end of the spectrum and include orange and yellow. People's responses to these colours vary from warmth and comfort to rage and animosity. Cool colours are those in the blue range and include purple and green. The colours evoke feelings of relaxation in people. Black has long been associated with formality, sadness and death. Some people are colour-blind and others do not respond to colour. The belief that some colours cause specific results is supported by studies. Adult subjects were put in a driving simulator with simulated traffic jams, and some of the subjects were exposed to blue light by researchers in the United Kingdom. The participants who were subjected to blue light were less angry than the others. The subjects that were exposed to blue light had lower blood pressure and less activity in their muscles. The researchers came to the conclusion that frustration was caused by an uncontrollable circumstance, such as a traffic jam. Exposure to blue light can help mitigate the negative effects on one's well-being. Lighting. Architects used to make buildings without windows to improve learning in educational facilities. The solution was not the best. We react better to full spectrum of electrical lighting than fluorescent lighting or other minimal sources of illumination, and we prefer natural light that streams through windows. The effects of full spectrum lighting on mood and motivation have been shown. These consequences may help people deal with disappointment, rejection, and other types of adversity. If you are designing a house, an office, or a family structure, natural lighting is a must.